just gave a speech today at the Walk Away March. I think they're called the Unsilent Majority.
So it was an absolutely amazing experience. We were able to see just all the unsilent Americans out there gather. So the first event was actually in the morning. We gathered in Freedom Plaza in Washington, D.C., which is a very beautiful place. It's a very nice flat area for a lot of people to gather. Brandon Strzok said some things to us, and then we started marching. So they marched from Freedom Plaza all the way to the Washington Monument, which is kind of a far march, but it's just everybody out there with their MAGA flags, MAGA hats, all out there screaming, cheering for our president, and out there really showing their support. And it was an amazing event, the first part. And then the second part was my favorite part, of course. We were right outside the Washington Monument. We had all the speakers out there, Dan Crenshaw, Shamika Michelle, myself, Brandon Strzok, a lot of other people out there that just really had amazing things to say. It was a very awe-striking and very inspiring event, because you're always taught to say that, oh, the Trump supporters, very small minority, they're not actually out there, but it's the silent majority. And at this event, they were unsilent. They were out there screaming, they were out there cheering, they were out there giving their applause, because they actually stand for our president, and they're loud and proud about it, and that's exactly what we need from America.
Now, was it a mostly peaceful event? I know it was peaceful on your side, but I did catch wind of some Antifa, BLM disruption. Did that happen?
Yeah. So as a speaker, I was kind of sheltered from anything like that, but I did hear about that. Walkaway takes their security very seriously, so they kept me very secure. I heard about that as well. I didn't see that myself, but what I did know is that the park police, our amazing law enforcement officers, got involved, stopped it as fast as they could, and did an amazing job.
Yes, we got to support our law enforcement, man. I got to tell you guys, this is an articulate, smart dude. How old are you? Like 16 or something?
I turned 16 just last month.
Yeah, and I met this dude like a couple years ago. Very smart, intelligent. Actually gave a speech today. What are some of the things you talked about in your speech?
I talked about how Gen Z is going to save the future of America. So Gen Z is the future of America. Generation Z, in case you guys don't know, is the youngest generation of kids born between like 1995 and 2012 or so. So I was born in 2004, which means I'm 16 now, and that means I'm a member of this generation. This generation is going to save this nation, because of course you guys are all fighting on the front lines right now, but we're going to be there in 10 years. We're going to be there in 20 years, fighting when you can't fight anymore, fighting to make sure that you still have your rights even when you're a senior citizen, fighting for all the unborn children that haven't been born yet. They're going to be a part of a different generation. We're fighting for them.
Amen. And lastly, as you know, President Trump is just beyond the gate here in this hospital, fighting through the coronavirus and the symptoms that he's dealing with. I guess mild symptoms, and he's feeling better. What do you have to say to President Trump right now?
I have to say, President Trump, you're doing an amazing job. You're kicking coronavirus's butt, and you're going to keep it up. And once you're out of the hospital, done kicking coronavirus's butt, you're going to kick Joe Biden's butt in November 3rd. You're doing a great job, so keep it up.
Amen. Oh, and what's going on next week? What do we need to know? What does our CEO need to know about right now?
So to the CEO of Right Side Broadcasting Network, you guys need to be down there, Miami, Florida, for American Priority Festival. Just this next weekend, it's going to be amazing. We have some amazing speakers going to be down there, including myself. So I hope you're down there for it. It's going to be a great event, and I'm looking forward to being there.
Yes, sir, man. Well, thanks a lot, man. It's good to see you. Thanks for doing the interview. People applauding this. This is the future right here. This young man right here, smart, and I wish I was this intelligent, articulate at 16. I'm like, what? This is the future. This is living proof. This is the future. Look at this.
And we're going to spread the virus of intelligence. We're not stopping.
Say that again?
This is the future. We're going to spread the virus of intelligence, and we're not stopping.
Hey, man. God bless you, man. Man, appreciate it. Man, this is amazing out here, guys. They just keep on rolling through. We have celebrities coming through. We had Jack Posobiec, and now we got Chandler Crump. And who else did we see over here? We saw Joy Villa. Lots of people. Fog City Midge came through. We got a lot of patriots out here for the president. It's unbelievable. The way people are outside of this hospital is as though it's like Prince or Michael Jackson. I feel like all the celebrities, whenever they were hospitalized back in the day, what I said earlier is that even on President Trump's worst day, he has more people out here supporting him than Joe Biden has on his best day. What do you think about that? Like, look how many people are out here.
I mean, Biden has those creepy Biden circles in all his rallies. You have to have a circle around you. It's kind of sad. But at the Trump rallies, you really have that hope, because at the Trump rallies, he does them at the airports now to avoid any of those restrictions. But it's just amazing what you see. You see all those Americans out there happy, smiling. They're not wearing masks because they have no fear of the coronavirus. They're out there really saying and spreading and showing their joy and happiness in support of our president. That's something that you simply can't see from Biden. There is no enthusiasm for Biden, because Trump owns the land. He has those rallies, of course. He owns the sea. He owns the land. He has those car parades as well. He owns the sea. He has those Trumptilla parades with all the boats, all that amazing stuff. He even has the skies, all those people with the sky banners. He has every single medium of travel available to him, and he owns it, because Biden just simply doesn't have that support like that. Biden has no enthusiasm. Just like he's sleepy in his campaign, his supporters are sleepy too.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. There's no enthusiasm around Joe Biden whatsoever, and you saw it at the debate. People aren't excited about that guy. They just hate Trump, and that's what we saw with the cars driving by.
No.
The vitriol and just the animosity, the anger. They're like screaming and shouting out of their cars.
Nobody actually supports Biden. They just hate Trump enough to support anybody else that it was.
Yeah.
So even if it was like one of those KKK grand wizards, if he was the Democratic nominee, which it might as well be considering we know who Joe Biden is, if it was one of those grand wizards running it, they'd be like, settle for the grand wizard because we hate Trump that much.
Yeah, and they eulogize Robert Byrd, Joe Biden is, but nobody wants to talk about that. Nonetheless, people out here love the president. That's the opposite of what the left is bringing. There's love and unity. I've seen everybody out here, Hispanics, Asians, blacks, it doesn't matter. Everybody's out here unified under this president. I've never seen so much unity in our country until I went to a Trump rally. Because on the other side, you can't be unified. You have to be broken down by your little intersectional identity.
Yeah,
it's weird,
there's
actually.
a lot of people out there trying to break you down. On the other end of the street is CNN and all the other mainstream media. I was just over there, and I was standing out in front of them, and the crowd of people that was around me, they were saying, you need to interview this kid. They completely ignored me. So I just started talking myself. I talked about how Trump in 2016 had 8% of the black vote support, but now polls are showing that right now in 2020 he has 30%. That just goes to show you in these last 4 years, he has earned the trust, support, and admiration of the black community more than any Democrat has in their entire career. More than Joe Biden has in his entire 50-year career. That's half a century, and yet he still can't get that much black support because black people know that Joe Biden doesn't have their back like Trump does.
Amen. This boy's out here preaching some truth. Y'all hear this out here? This is crazy, and he's only
We're
6.
having fun while doing it.
Yes,
That's
and
the best part.
he's only getting started. This dude is only 16 years old. This is the future of America. This is the future of the United States. Thank you for those of you shining flashlights over here. Our cameraman's light went out, so we got some people. Maybe we should get in on that. We're gonna.